tires, mixers, and more. We built this app with the collector in mind, with features like scheduled drop times, custom notification settings, and earn rewards on purchases, among other things. And we want to be a one-stop shop for collectors, which is why we've added services like PSA grading and eBay consignment straight from brakes. We are a PSA authorized dealer and offer grading services from value to walkthrough. All you need to do is fill out the form on our website within 24 hours of a brake completing, and we will take care of the rest. All submissions for brakes come with a review and wipe down of your card, and you won't be charged anything until we get your card back from PSA. eBay consignment is a similar process where you will need to fill out a form on our site within 24 hours of a brake completing for any cards you'd like to submit. All cards will be listed next business day for a 5-day auction starting at 99 cents. And after the sale, you'll have the option to be paid out via check, PayPal goods, or brake credit. The links for these services will be in the description of every brake. If you have any questions about how the app or how our brakes work, feel free to message us on your preferred social platform. Or jump in the chat of one of our brakes and the brake host can help walk you through it.
What's happening, everyone? Happy Friday.
Good morning. Another session of All Cards Ship.
And a special one at that.
Yeah, we're going to have a little bit of fun.
We told everyone to come here. And
don't miss this one.
Don't miss this
Tom's
one.
Conference, baby. So say hello when you drop in. Let us know that you are here and hanging out. We'll give you guys a couple of minutes to show up before we get rocking and rolling.
Yeah. Minnesota fans today are happy and sad. We got
Mostly happy.
I wouldn't say that.
I mean, people that are fans of like good sports.
That's not a Minnesota profile.
It's not. It's not at all. That's my Indiana bias showing through.
Yeah, that's true.
So Zach is in the house. John Hayes is in the house. What's going on? Say hello. We are live on YouTube. We are live on Facebook. We are live on the Real Sports Cards app. That's where most of the chatting is going to go down this morning. And we've got a busy day. We've got a busy weekend.
Yeah, we got a lot going on.
A lot of stuff going on on a short week for us.
Yeah.
Because we just got back Tuesday night from the TOPPS conference. So we've been cranking along. We've got event tonight at the shop.
Yep.
We've got event tomorrow morning for the Champlain Dayton Athletic Association opening day.
Yeah, I think is this the third year in a row?
I think it's the third or fourth year that we've set up at the CDAA opening day. This is our local Little League, if you will, at Baseball Athletic Association. They do their opening day. They have pictures. They have their first games.
Yep.
And this is a little bit bigger of one than the past couple of years.
Is it?
Because Amberly has a game.
Oh, nice. She's actually playing tomorrow?
Yes.
That's awesome. I didn't realize that.
So we are setting up from 10 to 1.
9 to 1. I think,
9 to 1. We are setting up. But Amberly actually has pictures at 7:55.
Wow.
So we got to be over there at 7:55 for pictures.
That's
She
really
is on the Dodgers.
Okay.
We got her uniform yesterday.
Nice.
She's number 11, and she was super pumped to have a jersey with her name on it.
Yeah, I bet.
On the back.
Do they do the first name or the last name?
Last name.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
Yep. So she's the only girl on her team of boys, but she is the tallest one on the team.
Sounds about right.
So she's been having fun with baseball.
Do you think this is going to translate to her being a Dodgers fan?
I don't know. I mean, I kind of like the Dodgers.
Yeah.
I don't have any hate for the Dodgers.
You'll have to like. Oh, when I don't know if the Dodgers are coming into town at all.
Yeah, I don't know. That would be really cool if they came to town and
She can wear her jersey or
she
something
can
like
wear
that.
her Dodgers jersey. And
Exactly.
we can go to I don't know if I want to start that. Like, she's still gonna wear a Twins.
Yeah. You're almost priming her just to be a Dodgers fan.
Right.
Right?
That's how the out of town kid ends up, being a fan of a different team.
Yeah.
So I don't know if we want to endorse that.
To be fair, you might rather have her be a Dodgers fan than a Twins fan.
I mean, she
might
have
save
a
her life.
happier baseball life.
Exactly.
So, although we'll have new owners, and who knows how great those owners might be.
Who knows? Yeah.
So. All right. If you've dropped in, make sure you let us know that you are here. We want to know who's hanging out with us on the Friday morning. After the Little League event tomorrow, then we've got a big event at the store.
Yeah.
We've got PSA on site.
Yep. Which is going to be our second time having PSA on site.
Second time having them on site. From noon to 4, people can come drop off cards either to their own PSA account or to be submitted through our account. So you don't have to have a PSA account to do this.
Yep.
So yeah, it's.
I feel like you've got to talk about the collection that already came in for the PSA event.
Yeah, I mean, we already had a massive, awesome collection come in. This last Saturday, we hosted our Grading 101 event. And that always brings a lot of people through the door to learn about grading and what are graders looking for and what kind of cards are, can be graded and all that kind of stuff. We do this seminar and then we do free reviews afterwards for people. And so a collection came in that was like the epitome of awesome 90s basketball. Like late 90s, this is Skybox Premium, Metal Universe, all of these products from 97, 98, 99. And so it was loaded with awesome inserts.
It was wild.
Awesome parallels.
Yeah.
When you have inserts like Duncan Go Nuts, and That's Jam, and
which I'd never even seen that one before. Like
Slam Funk.
There's some sick ones.
Some awesome Finest refractors. And then the rubies.
Yep.
From Skybox Premium and from Fleer Ultra, the gold and platinum medallions.
Yep. A couple of platinum portraits in there. I think.
Some platinum portraits, which at the time were Metalsmith's Fusion.
Okay.
So they weren't actually called platinum portraits back then. So it was just an epic collection.
Yeah.
And some really, really cool stuff. Some cards that haven't even seen the market in 10 years.
No, because they had the original price tag on them from whenever he picked them up.
No, I mean none of the cards. Like there have not been a copy of that card that has seen the market in 10 years.
Yeah, because you started digging into it yesterday to help them out with what to grade and what not to grade and stuff like that.
Yeah,
right?
We're going through it from a value perspective and doing some reviews on the cards and everything like that.
Yep.
To see, what's a good candidate for grading.
Yeah, that's wild.
So.
Yeah, it's like every time, it feels like every time we do one of these events, and I know the last PSA event, and then even just random walk-ins, it's just crazy to me to think of how many collections like that are out there because the stuff wasn't worth a ton. I mean, some of those...
It was obtainable.
Yeah, exactly.
It was obtainable. It was... the high-end stuff was expensive, but not expensive to the same degree that is expensive today.
Yeah, it just makes you think, how many more people have stuff that they... this guy collected the Duncan Go Nuts because he just thought it was a cool insert.
And he was trying to put together the whole set, so he had all of them in doubles and triples of some of these Duncan Go Nuts, right?
Which is wild.
Yeah. But, I mean, the last PSA drop-off event... We had the autographed rookie Hall of Famer collection come in, and he had autographed rookies of Jackie Robinson and Mickey Mantle and Ty Cobb and Walter Johnson.
Stuff there where there's literally only one.
There's only one.
Yeah.
And they were all authentic. That was one of the most amazing collections I've ever seen.
It's how do you even find these?
Right.
How do you get these?
But, 20 years ago, 10 years ago, they came up at auction and they were expensive for the time, but now they're 50 times that.
Yeah.
So it's pretty wild to see that stuff.
It's cool. It's cool seeing the amount of stuff that we do and get to look through. Like, there's just so much wild stuff out there that's just untapped and ungraded and just sitting in boxes in basements or whatever.
Right. So we'll dig into the TOPPS conference here shortly. If you have questions or things that you're hoping to hear about the TOPPS conference, this is an open question format, so feel free to drop those questions into chat. And if it came up at the TOPPS conference, we'll make sure we cover that for you also. But we've got some releases before we get into TOPPS conference.
Yep.
We've got some releases this week.
And some big ones next week.
Some big ones next week. We're in the middle of TOPPS Chrome Black Baseball.
Yep.
Which had some changes.
Yeah, I think some good changes, especially from break format.
Yeah.
With a little bit less skunkiness with the added pack and extra base cards and stuff like that.
Extra parallels, things like
exactly.
that. Yeah, I mean, TOPPS Chrome Black was a little bit skunky as a break when you got
one pack.
One pack.
2 base, 1 parallel, and
so you got like 60 cards in a case with 30 teams.
Yeah.
Got a little bit thin sometimes, but that extra pack actually helps more people get in the game.
Yep, and I think the one thing that is always interesting about TOPPS Chrome Black that you might not realize just right away is it is the first Chrome set of the season. So these guys' first on-card Chrome autos. And the one guy I have to point out is Roki, because we saw it with Yamamoto last year, where super highly hyped, Japanese prospect comes in, rookie cards, first Chrome auto, went nuts. And all of Roki's stuff has been doing better than Yamamoto was on
by
release.
far.
It is
Roki's
wild.
stuff is way bigger than Yamamoto was at the time that it started coming out. So
it is wild what his stuff is doing. So and then all these guys, I mean, you got James Wood, you got Dylan Cruz, you've got a big slew of rookies that are all selling well.
Right.
And then you add on the guys like Mookie Betts, who hasn't had a TOPPS Chrome Black auto ever, and Barry Bonds has a TOPPS Chrome Black, like stuff like that, which are the new the new signers of the old school. I guess Mookie Betts isn't old school, but you know what I mean, like guys that just haven't signed in a long time,
right?
Which are all like Barry Bonds autos are nuts as well,
right?
No,
that's great.
It's crazy.
I was the speculation is that Barry Bonds is going to be the guest at the Transcendent Party because they announced it in San Francisco.
Yep.
For like 2 weeks from now.
Right.
But we're going to be in Milwaukee at the Milwaukee Card Show, and I was like, man, I would really love to go to that Transcendent Party and get some Bonds swag.
Yeah.
Because,
that is going to hold a premium.
Big stuff. It's big stuff. Crosscheck is in the house.
Yeah, Matt's not feeling good after last night.
Yeah, tough day.
Did you watch that game or no?
No, I did not watch.
Yeah, I went to a restaurant with a couple buddies and watched it, and I Vegas was just a better team than us. I think you could see that throughout the entire series. They were just bigger, faster, stronger, won more puck battles, made more opportunities happen. They have a good squad. I think the Wild are a lot, one full line away from being a legit contender.
Bigger, faster, stronger, like Daft Punk.
Is that the song?
Isn't it a Daft Punk song? Bigger, faster, stronger, harder, faster, stronger.
Oh, that's the one that Kanye West sampled for Stronger, I think.
Yeah, he did sample that.
Yep.
You would know.
I would say that.
You would know because of Kanye.
Correct.
Yeah.
I would argue that song was bigger, but regardless. So, yeah, Wild are out. Some Minnesota fans got Timberwolves, at least.
Yes.
Which, that was crazy. I did not expect them to beat the Lakers. I thought the Lakers were going to go on a run.
That was the team I didn't want in the first round.
Right.
When there's two players on the team that can beat you themselves.
Correct.
That's a tough team to play.
Yep.
The truth is we saw that last year because Kyrie is tough to beat when he goes off.
Correct.
And, you had Luka and Kyrie on Dallas last year, and that proved to be too much because, if Luka doesn't score 40, Kyrie does.
Exactly.
And it's
they
just
do it in different ways.
it's
and
hard to beat those teams.
Exactly.
And it's the same thing with Luka and LeBron. If one doesn't score 40, the other can.
Yeah.
So it's hard to beat a team when their leading scorer has 40 points.
Yeah. Yeah. And what was most impressive about that last game is it was not Ant that led us in points. Like, he was struggling a little bit.
Yeah, that would actually be an interesting stat to look up, is teams' records when they have somebody who scores 40 points.
I've got to say it's going to be pretty good.
Yeah, it's,
Right.
I mean, we were playing with Chat GPT the other day,
Yeah.
For some other math.
Yep.
But that's one that I bet Chat GPT could come up with that stat pretty
Probably.
quickly.
Yeah, you probably look up all those weird stats.
Right.
That guy's crazy.
It is. It's kind of epic. So.
John asked, any cool swag from the conference?
A
little bit.
I mean, we get a little bit of swag from the conference. Yeah, you usually do like a giveaway bag that has, like, we got a TOPPS sweatshirt.
Yep.
We got a bag.
Yeah, like a nylon bag or whatever.
Yep. We got some cards. We get to meet a couple of athletes. So the first day we got to meet Frank Thomas.
Yep.
And the second day we got to meet Tiffany Stratton.
Yeah, it's
so
cool.
Two cool.
Get
Get pictures with them. Get autographed cards of them.
Yep.
And then they always do silver packs. For these industry conference cards.
Yep.
So you get some silver packs, and that's kind of the extent of the swag. They do some like random like draw a number giveaways throughout, but there's so many people there. I mean, I think there were like 600 people there.
There were a lot of people, yeah.
600 dealers.
Was this the biggest one that they've had?
For sure, the biggest. Last year, so we met at the College Football Hall of Fame.
Mm-hmm.
Last year, they had everybody at tables.
Right. Oh, really?
In that room.
Oh, I didn't know.
So they had round tables in that room.
Okay.
And the chairs around the round tables. But they had to do away with the tables, and it was just rows of seats this year.
Makes sense.
But, yeah, I mean, 600 people. And you have to be a direct shop owner or a direct breaker.
Was that different this year than last year?
No, it's always been that way.
Okay.
But that tells you, like, how many shops and breakers they have in this direct program.
Yeah.
One of the fears when Fanatics took over TOPPS and started taking over the industry, if you will, was that they were going to put all of the shops out of business.
Yeah, start cutting accounts
and
like
start
crazy.
cutting and just sell all the product direct on Topps.com and Fanatics.com, and that dealers were toast.
Yep.
And instead, what we've seen them do is open up direct accounts. I believe when TOPPS was acquired, they had roughly like 250 direct shops.
Okay.
And now there's like 800.
Yeah, that's wild.
And so, I mean, if anything tells you that that Fanatics actually believes that shops are an important part of the infrastructure of the hobby,
yeah,
giving them all direct accounts
basically
is a pretty clear indicator that that's the case.
Right.
Now, there are going to be shops that have fallen through the cracks and haven't made it, and some of that is Topps's and Fanatics' vision of what the future of hobby shops looks like.
Right.
They've got this program they've been pushing for a few years now, a couple years of this Hobby Shop 2.0. And they have these scorecards for hobby shops where they're ranking you based on how you fulfill all of these different metrics. And these are the things that determine, one, if you have an account, or two, how much product you're getting.
Right.
And so, it's really clear. They just opened their flagship store in London. They want to spread the hobby and grow the hobby tremendously. And, so here's Europe. They're planting a stake in the ground in Europe, where London already has a pretty thriving card show.
Okay.
for that's kind of all of Europe.
Yep.
And they opened this beautiful new flagship store
Yep.
with technology and everything like that.
And kind of talked about it as the benchmark.
Like, yeah, this is the example. Like, we want to see more shops like this. They
Yep.
want existing shop owners to invest and update and upgrade their stores, you know, for the modern market.
Yep. And I like that they're not doing it like a Rolex thing. Where I don't know if you saw like the Rolex stores, like any authorized dealers had to put in like a minimum of like $500,000 or something like that into their shops, or else they were getting cut. Like Topps isn't doing that right now, but they are, you know, like you mentioned with that scorecard, like kind of gradually, you know, nudging everyone towards like, okay, you're gonna have to take these steps. You're gonna have to do these different things within the hobby infrastructure to you know, continue your good standing. At least.
Otherwise, other people will,
Right.
Otherwise, somebody else is going to open a modern, beautiful store in your area, and we know that these are successful. I mean, Topps sees the sales of all of the shops.
Yep.
We actually just had to redo our annual reporting back to Fanatics this week, where they want to know about how each sport is selling and, you know, how all the different areas are selling.
Yep.
But everybody's got to report this back to Fanatics, and so they can see the modernized shops are just outperforming the older style shops.
Yep.
So they want that investment.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. It has been an interesting transition period, and it'll be interesting to see like how it continues to evolve and how they continue to, you know, push the envelope, so to speak, in terms of modernizing everything. And it is all in the interest of growing the hobby and making it more desirable for people to come in, and, you know, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah. Yep.
So.
Yeah, I mean, Crosscheck asked, do I ever see them going to a franchise type model where you have to have a standard format? I don't think so. I don't think that you're gonna, you know, see them. I don't think that they would expand from 250 stores to 800 direct stores just to shut them all down and open their own stores all over. You know, the reality is I don't see them ever. You know, there are in the Twin Cities here, there are 5 thriving shops.
Right.
Maybe six
Yep.
thriving shops in the Twin Cities. I don't ever see them opening 6 stores. Could they potentially have some kind of a flagship store in New York or some kind of a flagship store in LA? They could, but what we've seen is they've been supporting other people who are choosing to make the investments and open those kinds of flagship stores themselves.
Right.
So I don't see that.
Yeah. I think they also understand the importance of every individual shop doing things their own way and attracting different collector bases. And, you know, we know that for sure with breakers specifically. Like, everyone has a little bit of a different style and a little bit of a different format that appeals to their main collector base. And I believe that's what Topps wants as well, because they understand that everyone likes to collect a different way or a different style and all that.
Right.
So you can't get that with a standardized format, so to speak.
And the truth is they've tried selling hobby boxes through lids. They own lids. They've tried selling hobby boxes through lids. I think collectors have probably spoken there.
Yep.
That's not the hobby shop experience that they want. So I don't think it's as easy as like lids will take over
Right.
the distribution of product and become the next card shop.
Right.
You know, I think they see lids similarly to how they see Target and Walmart and GameStop. These are locations, because they have stores everywhere, these are often collectors' first experience
Correct.
with the hobby.
Yep.
Right? You know, kid goes into Target with his mom or his dad and buys a blaster of baseball cards for the first time.
Yep.
A gaming person, a video game person goes into GameStop, buys a blaster of basketball cards for the first time.
Right.
Goes into Lids to buy a hat because they're a sports fan, buys a box of baseball cards for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's how they see like large scale retail.
Correct.
Is a feeder program. And then those collectors then have to get plugged into local hobby shops to learn,
Yep.
right? Because that's where you're going to learn about the hobby, because you can't learn about the hobby in a Lids with a 18-year-old kid, high school kid,
that knows nothing about
on
it.
a summer job that knows nothing about the hobby,
Right.
Slinging hats,
Right.
Coming into a local card shop where you can see all of the different products and talk to experts and learn about grading and do all of these things, that's what Fanatics is trying to do.
Yep.
So it's drive people from big box retail into local card shops,
Mm-hmm.
but they want them to be good local card shops.
Right.
They don't want it to be used bookstore, antique store, local card shops.
Yep.
There's a place for those, but they're just not going to be Fanatics dealers.
Right. Yeah.
You can go buy all the old cool stuff at Ballpark in Apple Valley,
Mm-hmm.
here in the Twin Cities, all you want. A lot of cool stuff. It's like a giant thrift store.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not going to be where you go for the modern releases.
Yeah, and that's what we're so we mentioned the scorecard that they have, Matt. So Matt's talking about if you want to keep your direct account, you have to meet certain standards, and they are going to be doing that to an extent with this rating system that they have on each individual shop.
And they've expanded to 800 shops, but at the same time, in Q1, I think they eliminated 50 or 60 shops.
Yeah.
So you're not just in when you're in. Like, if you're not meeting the standards of the scorecard, you're done.
Yep.
Or you're demoted. They've got a prospect account that they can, where you get a little bit of some of the products.
Yeah, you're still in the TOPPS direct ecosystem, but you're not getting all the products. And
so there have been people that have been cut. There have been people demoted to prospect account, and then sometimes prospect account is how you get your foot in the door as a new store.
Right.
So yeah, they're definitely cracking down and being intentional about these accounts. The reality is there's not an infinite amount of product.
Right.
And they can only increase production so much.
Correct.
Because they run into bottlenecks like acquiring enough autographs or acquiring enough relics, and things like that. They could sell twice as much product. They can't produce twice as much product.
Right. Exactly.
Checklist sizes, right? You can only go so deep in an autograph checklist before you're actually hurting a product more than helping it.
Yep, and you can also only have these guys sign X amount of cards for these products as well. Like they're not. There's limitations within that also.
Right. So I think that's one of the things that they found. When they came in and they said we're going to 10x the hobby, I think part of them thought that they were going to 10x baseball, and they quickly realized, it's not possible to 10x baseball because it's not possible to 10x production on baseball. And so now they've started looking at all the other verticals, right? So basketball license is coming in October.
Yep.
Super pumped about that.
Yep.
Followed by the football license in March.
Mm-hmm.
They've gone out. They've locked up Marvel. They've locked up Disney. They've locked up WWE.
Yep.
They've locked up Premier League.
Some Pixar stuff.
Yep. So to go along with Star Wars, and I think this all goes into the same ecosystem where you might bring somebody into card collecting because of Disney,
right?
And then they might see football,
mm-hmm.
Or you might bring them in because of WWE. They become a trading card collector, and now they're buying basketball or baseball.
Yep.
And I think all of these verticals are one of the ways where they think they can really, really grow.
Yeah, and all of these products look like they're going to be pretty epic from a not only just design and IP standpoint, but they had a big list of autograph signers for each of these different verticals that are guys, people we've never seen before. Like these products are going to be kind of wild.
I mean, the market's in a good place right now. There was so much buzz in the room from dealers who are also collectors, right? Dealers who are also collectors about these new sets.
Yep.
Like, you know, when we look back to like 2012, 13 Prism basketball, the first year there was ever Prism, and how collectible that set is for every player in the set.
Yeah.
It's like everyone's Prism rookie.
Yep.
Right? Like, that is how this first year, especially of basketball, is going to be. It is going to be a lot of players' Topps Chrome rookie and Topps Finest rookie. You know, because we haven't had those products for over a decade.
Yeah, it's wild.
Right? So, Luka's first ever Topps Chrome card. Right? Zion,
SGA,
Tatum,
and
all of these guys, first ever Topps Chrome card. Same thing with football, right?
Yeah.
All of our current quarterbacks. Yeah. I mean, it's got to be 60% of the quarterbacks in the league or more.
Yeah, large majority.
That have not had a Topps Chrome card.
All the top guys, yeah.
Pat Mahomes has never had a Topps trading card.
Yeah.
He's gonna have his first licensed superfractors and gold refractors and inserts from Topps.
Yep. And that's the interesting mindset switch. Is it is going to be like a rookie card almost.
It will feel like a rookie card.
Yep. The first ever.
We all know like it's not a rookie card. It's going to feel the buzz and the hype and the demand around the cards is gonna feel like a rookie card.
Yep.
So, I mean, we've seen the same thing with Disney. Like, these cards are selling like Mickey's rookie card.
Yep.
Like
Pluto, Minnie.
Yeah, all of these, you know, all the Frozen Olafs.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
All the Ariel.
Yeah.
Like, it's their rookie cards. It's their first refractors. It's their first supers. It's their first autographs in these Disney cards with facsimile autographs.
Yep.
You know, the same thing with Marvel, you know. So it's pretty cool to see what they're doing. I'm pumped about all of these
You didn't mention the biggest one.
Which one was the biggest one?
The Topps Chrome SpongeBob.
Oh my god.
They threw an image up there of the Doodle Bob Superfractor. I am all in.
I was a little bit pre-SpongeBob.
But SpongeBob was what I grew up on. I love some SpongeBob.
I was a little bit pre-SpongeBob.
I will be chasing the SpongeBob rainbow.
So, make sure you, again, guys, let us know when you drop in. We're not just here talking for our own fun, but we want to answer your questions and your ideas and hear your ideas, what you want to hear about from Topps Conference. They did tease the licensed basketball, but we do know there's some 24-25 basketball coming before the license kicked in. Sounds like it's going to be an abbreviated release schedule just to squeeze in a handful of 24-25 releases.
Yep, bridge the gap a little bit.
Before October, so unlicensed products. But just so we can get some of those rookies, Stephon Castle and some of these guys in before they go ham with their new release when it pops in October.
They kind of got lucky with a good rookie class for 25-26 with Cooper and these guys.
Cooper Flag's gonna help that set.
Yeah,
so.
all licensed with Cooper Flag, rookies and first, or all that stuff. So which is gonna be legit.
Yeah. So, on a non-Topps note, there was big news that we saw about extended hockey.
Yeah.
Which Crosscheck brought up. The one that caught my eye for extended hockey. Which I don't know if we have an official date on it yet.
I don't think so.
But Ovi, Young Gun, buyback autos. To me, that's so epic. Like, And they're obviously the long shot chase.
I think they only did 8 of them.
They did 8 of them.
Some of them have some. I think one of them has an inscription or something like that.
Holy cow!
Wild.
How epic of a pull from flagship. Like this extended is flagship,
Yep.
and it's not the most highly anticipated flagship release of the year either.
Right.
It's it's the update set, right?
Correct.
And a little bit unlike baseball, which has update often has big rookie call-ups throughout the season.
Yeah.
Extended doesn't usually have that.
No, you'll have
to the same extent.
Yeah, you have potentially a couple solid young guns every year. One thing they've been doing lately is delaying some of the top guys' young gun canvas. So last year we started with the young gun canvas and extended, and I believe it's the same thing with Macklin this year. He had his young gun in Series 2, and we'll have his canvas young gun in extended. So those are great chases. I always like, too, how they do include all of the other rookies throughout the year, while they might not have young guns in different insert sets and parallel chases and stuff like that. So they have done a really good job of making extended better from a checklist perspective.
Better than it was 4 years ago.
Correct.
I mean, 4 years ago, extended was like, woof.
Yeah. Yep.
Like, how do we lose the least amount of money possible selling this release?
Yeah, it always dropped, but that's not going to be the case.
They helped it out a lot.
Yeah, yeah.
So.
But yeah, I mean, these Ovi Young Gun buyback autos are ridiculous. Such a sweet chase as they've added some of the stuff with reimagined Young Guns and stuff like that. It's kind of, it's obviously way different, but yeah, those are going to be massive. So.
Oh, we got a little fuzzy bunny and fuzzy panda question.
I think the market's up on the fuzzy bunnies.
It's tough. I think most people are a hold.
Yep.
I think most people are a hold on the fuzzy bunnies and fuzzy pandas and the OG fuzzy llamas.
Yep.
You just don't see them all over eBay like all these trading cards.
No.
And to me, that just tells me that people are just holding.
I think llama's been having a good season too.
They've never been injured. That's
Correct.
Remarkable.
It is wild.
They've never had to have Tommy John surgery, so.
Got lucky there.
Right.
What else from the TOPPS conference in terms of, we talked about all the other, different verticals and different IPs. I know one thing for me that really stood out was, and we've seen this over the past couple of years, and I know they've talked about it, but looking forward to this 25 set of products is extra stuff they're doing, extra chases they are adding to products like Tier 1 and 5-star, and obviously some of the higher end ones like Definitive. Like, they are, Fanatics is using their muscle to add chases in that have never even been thought of before.
Right. I mean, we've seen it already in the past start to trickle out with like the debut rookie patches, the MVP buyback, which was so wildly successful for TOPPS and for collectors that they rolled it out to all of the TOPPS Chrome products, and they did tease MVP buyback for basketball and football. Probably, I think when it becomes licensed.
I would assume so.
But they did it for WWE.
Yep.
We'll see them do it for other sports. They did it for UFC.
Yep.
And so we're going to see that MVP buyback program continue into other verticals.
Yep.
It'll be interesting. I don't know how you do like MVP buyback for like TOPPS Chrome Disney. Like they don't have MVPs for Disney.
Yeah.
But who knows?
Yeah,
I mean, they're doing more and more of that stuff. Also, for the past 2 years, we've seen them do more with unique case hits and trying to catch up to Panini.
Yep.
Is, pre-Fanatics TOPPS just didn't keep up with the hype behind case hits and all the downtowns and kabooms and color blasts and things like that.
Yep.
But we've seen that change in the past couple of years
100%.
where they've been doing more of those types, and that's the stuff they're going to continue doing more of those things in these other products so that there are these chases throughout so many of the releases.
Yeah, they even mentioned a little bit about standardization through different sports as well. Like one with the rainbow chases, where they're kind of standardizing that through TOPPS Chrome of football, basketball, baseball. The short prints, the Helix, I believe they mentioned, is going to be a chase in each of these different TOPPS Chromes. So I think that could help also, push those into the spotlight a little bit more of like, when you're ripping TOPPS Chrome, this is the case hit, because we've seen them experiment a little bit.
Right.
But I think they have a little bit more of a, of a for sure set thing that you'll be able to chase through football, baseball, and basketball.
Yeah.
Which I think is good overall for everything, because that is what you're chasing.
We'll take it. I mean, we've had very few products that I can think of that were worse in the given year than they were the year before.
Yeah, I agree.
We look back at 2024 baseball. Rookie class aside, I'm not saying rookie class. I'm just saying content.
Yep.
Just about every product from baseball in 2024 was better from a content perspective than 2023.
Correct.
And I think we will expect, and we saw this with TOPPS Chrome Black this week.
Yep.
Better from a content perspective than last year's TOPPS Chrome Black.
Yep.
With inserts, unique, tougher to hit inserts, and the extra pack, and things like that. We're going to see it next week with Breaker's Delight Bowman instead of HTA Bowman.
Yep.
So in the past, Bowman HTA has just been the 3 auto box.
Yep, which they used to only do for Chrome, but then extended into the draft and
a
Bowman.
And that was a cool product, but always super skunky.
Yeah, it's tough.
Really tough from a breaks perspective to break HTA.
Yep.
Because it is all or nothing.
Yep.
Zero. They've actually changed HTA format to a Breaker's Delight format, which has been super successful in other products like TOPPS Chrome,
Finest football,
university products, Finest. A lot
WWE,
of these products have had Breaker's Delight, which is a 10 card format where there's 3 autos, 3 numbered parallels, exclusive insert, and some other cards in there. And so they've taken HTA and made it better, a better format for collectors with added content.
Yep.
And it's not more expensive.
Right, which is really nice. They didn't.
It's not more expensive. They didn't make this change and then say, "Oh, we went from 3 autos to 3 autos plus a bunch of stuff, so it would jack the price up." It's not more expensive than HTA.
Yep.
So.
And it'll be a lot better. And
I mean,
the geometrics, so you're going to see more color. You're going to see, it's going to be really good.
Bowman people like their color.
Yep.
To me, like, the multi-case breaks become way more interesting. The multi-case player breaks, way more interesting for Bowman. And then, like, standalone Breaker's Delight case breaks.
That'd be way better.
Like, HTA was tough because you were looking at, 36 autos.
Correct.
For a 12-box case.
Yep.
And then sometimes it was a 6-box case. You're talking about a 6-box case with 18 autos, and that's the only cards that are in there.
Yep.
So, it's interesting.
Yeah.
So, we'll see. We'll see how HTA or now Breaker's Delight Bowman does.
Yep.
So
they added another little chase with Bowman this year. You want to chat on that?
Yeah, Bowman. The other thing they added this year is a red hot rookie. Right? Is that what they call it?
No, I think they just call it the red rookie.
Oh, the red rookie.
Yep.
Red rookie.
Yep.
Red rookie.
Red rookie.
All right, so they added a red rookie refractor, and the red rookie refractor is going to be like a short print refractor that is thrown out there randomly into these products with like a buyback component to it, right? So if you have a red rookie refractor that wins Rookie of the Year, you can redeem that card for $100 Fanatics Fan Cash.
Yep.
Right? So a little bit different than MVP Buyback, which you redeem at the store. This one's for Fanatics Fan Cash, but you can redeem that for $100 Fanatics Fan Cash.
Yep.
Or you can hold that card, and if they win other awards like Cy Youngs and MVPs throughout their season or throughout their career, it goes up.
Yeah,
like
I think it was like the first
200,
MVP is $200.
and then $300.
Yep.
And then if that person becomes a Hall of Famer, you can redeem that card for $1,000.
Yep.
All right. So I love free money. Who doesn't love free money?
Mm-hmm.
We did some math. We did some math to help you guys understand the EV behind these different prize levels.
Yep.
You got something in my throat. Little tickle. I'm getting excited. So, if you've looked at this program and you're like, oh, what's the best way to redeem these cards, or should I hold? Should I redeem it now? We did some calculations based on time value of money.
Yep.
Because we know the dollar then is worth less than $1 today, right? And, so we dug into, we used ChatGPT for this. We dug in and analyzed like the Hall of Fame, hold.
Yep.
So if we're going to hold for a Hall of Fame for $1,000, what does that mean, right? Well, the average career length of existing players in the Hall of Fame was 19 years.
Mm-hmm.
You've got to be retired for 5
Yep.
years.
So looking at 24 years.
So you're looking at 24 years to go on the ballot.
Yep.
And the average Hall of Famer gets elected into the Hall of Fame on their 4th ballot.
Okay.
Right?
Yep.
So now you're at 28 years. So
Yep.
if we're looking at time value of money, $100 today or $1,000 in 28 years
Yep.
at a 8% annual return in the market.
Yep.
That $100 today is worth like $846 in 28 years.
Yep.
Right? But so and 1,000 if you redeem it. You're like, "Oh, well, so
That's
you
plus.
win.
You're up. Yep.
You win. You're ahead at $1,000."
Yep.
But we also did some math of how many players in the Hall of Fame won Rookie of the Year.
Yep.
There were only 19 players.
Yeah, which is it seems wildly low actually.
Only 19 players. Now they haven't done Rookie of the Year all the way back
Yeah, that makes sense. Yep.
to the early 1900s
Right.
or whatever, right? But
right.
but only 19 players have won Rookie of the Year and been elected to the Hall of Fame, and that's a super low percentage
Right.
of Hall of Fame players.
Mm-hmm.
So if you factor in their likelihood of the Rookie of the Year getting elected into the Hall of Fame, the value changes a little bit.
Correct.
And you come up quite a bit short of $1,000, right?
Yep.
Like,
Yep.
so the math says take the free money today.
Correct.
And unless you're just a really bad gambler and you like to bet on, green on the roulette table.
Yeah. And there's also probably a case for some of these guys that they might win an MVP or a Cy Young. And I'm curious. We didn't look up like how many guys that have won Rookie of the Year have won an MVP the next year. That's probably 0.
Yeah, like that would be your quickest.
Correct.
That would be your quickest multiplier, right? Is if you win Rookie of the Year 1 year and then you immediately win a Cy Young or immediately win an MVP. Like that could be kind of an interesting perspective.
Right.
We didn't look those up, but it would be interesting to take a look at that too.
Yep.
If you have somebody like a Paul Skeens come in
Yep.
that wins Rookie of the Year and is a caliber and enough pitcher to compete for Cy Young the very
Yeah, he's a
next
Cy Young
year.
favorite this year going into the season.
Right. That could be interesting.
Right.
Or a Julio Rodriguez kind of a rookie where they've probably got the
Shot,
the skill to put together an MVP type season.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
You know, so maybe there's some shorter term holds there.
Right.
That makes sense. But as far as the Hall of Fame hold, I think the math says take the free money today.
Yep. Joe asked a good question, and I believe that the only players that are eligible for that Hall of Fame credit are if they had one rookie of the year.
They have to be a rookie of the year first.
Yep. So you're going to have 2 guys a year.
Correct.
Yep.
Potentially, if they have a Bowman rookie.
Correct.
So this is the other piece that, you know, if you look at the Bowman checklist, there are probably only 4 rookies in the product that are considered contenders for Rookie of the Year.
Correct.
It's possible that a rookie wins Rookie of the Year that does not have a red rookie.
100%.
Right? There are rookies in Bowman that aren't playing in Major League Baseball right now.
Yep.
And there are rookies in Bowman who are not eligible for MLB rookie status.
Correct.
Because they met that criteria last year, but they're now getting their rookie card in Bowman. So it'll be interesting to see how this plays out because it's not guaranteed that a Rookie of the Year winner has a red rookie in Bowman.
Right.
It's also to be determined if Bowman Chrome will have red rookies.
Yep.
Right? So, you know that could be a little bit more interesting because Bowman Chrome comes out, in the fall.
Yep.
Where you probably already know who some of the Rookie of the Year candidates are.
Yep.
And if they do red rookies then, if it was like a early season call-up that's contending, they might end up with a Bowman Chrome red rookie instead of Bowman's.
Could there ever be a situation where, one of these guys, I look at I think Brooks Lee is one of the guys who is not eligible because he's met his service time for rookie status last year. It seems insanely tough, but would there ever be a situation where that guy wins Rookie of the Year in the previous year and then has his first rookie in Bowman in 25 or that next year? You know what I mean?
Yeah, that would be interesting.
So I think of a guy like Jordan who I believe he won a rookie. I'm not sure exactly, but had his rookies in 2020.
Or like a Randy Arozarena, these kind of guys, right?
Yeah,
where they are contending for Rookie of the Year.
I've got to think,
but they don't get their RC until the next year.
Yeah, I've got to think it makes it super tough because a lot of those guys are later season call-ups anyways.
I don't think we have an answer to that one. I didn't hear them bring up that scenario.
Yeah, I just got to think it's tough for these guys to win Rookie of the Year if they're a mid to late season call-up that don't find their way into updates, but they only have X amount of time to win Rookie of the Year anyways, and they can't put together a full enough season compared to some of these other guys.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think all of it does speak to Fanatics' commitment to adding stuff to products that doesn't cost them additional money in terms of an auto, obtaining autos or obtaining game use patches or stuff like that, but adding extra chases that increase value of singles and help products just sell better with more chases and make them better overall.
Right.
If you hate the program, love the program, it is a cool attempt to add additional value.
Yep. So I believe we've got breaks dropping. Can you pop over to the break drop real quick?
Yeah.
Let's see what we've got dropping. Did we just have one drop?
Yes. Multi-year value mixer random.
Multi-year value mixer random. That one just dropped. Click on it for me. All right. So we've got a multi-year value mixer random team break that just dropped literally just now. We're going to do a little giveaway for the first person that grabs a spot in this break. So it literally just dropped.
Yep.
All 30 spots available. First person to grab a spot in that break today, we're going to open you an industry conference silver pack. Boom. I've been itching to open this thing. I had to sit here on the table, itching to open this thing. But it's got to be the first person. If it's the second person and you don't get there first, Can't help you, but this is it. First person. That's a Wisconsin break, so we'll have.
I'm messaging Tom right now.
We'll have Tom let us know who the first person is to pop that spot. But a little Topps Chrome silver pack. This is it's a magged autograph card in there.
And they got some sick signers too.
There's cool stuff.
We saw some cool stuff.
We're itching to see. So we'll see who grabs that first spot in that break. As we are right at our 10 o'clock time. So we are close. So, but I don't really have a prediction for Rookie of the Year.
I don't know where the odds are at, actually. I'm curious.
I don't really know where the odds are.
Jacob Wilson has got to be. I think he's, without looking at odds, he's my initial, I would think he's going to win. But you've also still got guys that haven't been called up yet, like a Roman Anthony that could come in at any point and go nuclear for 3/4 of the year and win it.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Did we get a spot to pop?
Let's see. There's 3.
Uh-oh. All right. 3 spots popped. 3 people took a stab at it. And I just need one of our Wisconsin team to tell us who the first one.
Let's get Tom.
Who the first one off the board was. What, should we call Tom?
Yeah, we're going to call Tom here.
Cross-check, I still have the Bedard Platinum Portraits. Yeah, Luke Keeschel from the Twins has been going nuclear.
Yeah, but he got hurt.
I mean...
I think it was, I'm not sure if he came back or when he's coming back, but I think he was on the 10-day.
Yeah, I mean,
for a fracture.
A short one.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's a short stint. But, yeah, I mean, he came up and went to town.
Yeah, exactly. Tom's going to ghost my call.
Uh-oh. Call Jay.
Let's give Jay a call. God, I'm actually really excited to see this pack.
I want to see this pack. We're going to do this before we go.
Hey Jay, are you at the shop right now? Can you let me know who the very first spot taken was, or who took the very first spot in your multi-year value mixer random? We just did a giveaway. We're giving away an industry conference auto, so we're gonna rip it live for someone here, to whoever had the very first spot. Just walked in, so he's pulling it up now.
All right. We'll close out the session with that.
With the giveaway?
With that giveaway.
Jake's Hobbies.
Jake's Hobbies, bringing it down. All right, Jake.
Perfect. Thanks, Jay. All right, bye.
Jake's Hobbies with the first spot, going to get the Industry Conference Silver Pack, but we all want to see what it is. I'll do the slow reveal for the camera. Are you ready? Oh,
that's sick.
Holy smokes. I hope that you are more of a Star Wars fan than Emil. That is a Ewan McGregor.
That's a 10?
To 10. Ewan McGregor, Obi-Wan Kenobi, 8 of 10 autograph from the TOPPS conference. That is nasty.
That's really epic, actually.
That is so sick. What a sweet hit going to Jake's Hobbies.
We said there were some cool autos in there. That's pretty cool.
There is some cool stuff in there, and that one is at the top of the cool list. Congratulations, Jake's Hobbies. Appreciate all of you guys.
Always my first Ryan break.
Yes. Yes.
That's funny.
Appreciate you guys as always. Obviously, your support of our business is so important, and we are so grateful for that, as well as your friendship. So thanks for hanging out with us on a Friday morning. Grab some spots in some breaks this morning and this weekend. All kinds of cool stuff. I'm excited for Bowman next week. I'm ready.
On Wednesday.
I'm ready to go crazy.
Yep.
I'll probably open a couple of cases for myself.
A couple.
But that is our All Cards Ship Friday morning. Appreciate you, and we'll see you in the next one.
Thanks, guys.